Time to go out the door with T-Rex. Haven't even seen him yet today. First, I gotta pick up a little bit of storm damage here in the road. Everyone make out okay last night? Someone help me move this branch. Yeah, that one's live right there. Better safe than sorry. That's what we always say prepping for these storms. Dodged one today. Let's go out the door with T-Rex in reverse order today. 29.53 inches on the barometer. That's a far cry from 29 inches, which was the forecast. T-Rex, we're doing an opposite today. I've already been out the door for hours. Now it's your turn to go out the door here at 10 o'clock in the morning. The morning of powerful nor'easter Lee. We've got whitecaps on Fallon's Pond. We lost the electricity for just a few minutes around 5:30, and I've already been out to Orleans and Chatham and the Red Cottage and Sundancers. I've hooked up with Charlie Orloff and Joe Bastardi this morning. I did not make it to the National Seashore, but E-Weather certainly did. Look at this shot at LeCounte's Hollow. I didn't make it to the National Seashore for a number of reasons. Do dogs eat acorns? T-Rex. This is storm debris, T-Rex. Don't be eating the storm debris. Ready? I'd see if you can find this. Ready? Go get it. Which one was it? Oh my goodness. Anyhow, yeah, levity. We can do levity this morning. The storm was nowhere near as bad as we thought it would be in New England. Instead of missing by 150 miles or 200 miles, Lee missed Nantucket to the east by 215 miles. So that's a lot further out with a central pressure of 965. That's pretty impressive, but it's that far away, so we did not get any storm surge. We've been watching that number in Chatham. What's the barometer going to do in Chatham? 72 hours ago, it had the barometer getting down to 982 millibars in Chatham. And then yesterday and the day before was more like 995. In reality, the barometer got down to 1,000 millibars in Chatham, which is about 29.5 like we just saw on the barometer here. So it was a powerhouse of a storm that makes landfall in Nova Scotia now. Remember a week and a half back, it looked like it was going to make landfall maybe in southern New England, then the coast of Maine. Well, none of that occurred. Let's go into the backyard and challenge the wind. T-Rex, come on in the backyard, T-Rex. All right, you stay there. Because we actually have a little bit of debris here. Now, on Cape Cod, we've been battling gypsy moths and gall wasps. So most of these little twigs that have fallen off were weakened by gall wasps that form. They lay their eggs in the oak. But we actually have one or two branches that actually fell. So minor storm damage, minor power outages. You can see that limb was failing already. So most of what fell in the Northeast yesterday, today, and yesterday really, it was just about as windy yesterday as it is today, is due to weakened branches and the fact that it is that time of year. Oh, look at this. Some tomatoes here. So it's been a whirlwind 48 hours. This storm is going to pull away. We're going to have a beautiful day tomorrow. Let's go to Chatham again. Chatham, look at the sunshine tomorrow, light winds. And then guess what? On Monday, we have another front coming in here, and the barometer on Monday is going to go down to 1,000 millibars with that front, and we're going to get, if the Euro is right, more than 2 inches of rain on Monday. Now, most of my neighbors measured about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain last night in the middle of the night. I kind of slept through that. So now we're passing 4 inches of rain for the month, and here comes another front on Monday that's probably going to cause more damage than what we had from Lee as far as, flash flooding goes. I think there's a direct correlation between the number of TV reporters and news people that show up on the beaches 3 days ahead of a storm to the likelihood of a storm. So the more reporters you can get to a beach on a Wednesday and a Thursday and a Friday, the less likely that Saturday storm is. So yeah, I know I'm a bit twisted in my sense of humor and reality here, but it was a spectacle that kind of overwhelmed the actual weather we've had over the last few days or the month so far. We've had so many days of severe weather and flooding that were much worse than Lee missing out to sea as many of us were thinking a week ago, but then those global models, the Euro and the GFS, sucked us in on Wednesday with that tight pass, which did not happen. The hurricane guidance, I think, did a better job than the other guidance, the global guidance. It's been a long day. I've been doing a lot of chasing yesterday, back and forth across Cape Cod. So in the weather and more today, I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Really nice week coming up next week. And I'm just going to show you some of the highlights of me crisscrossing Cape Cod yesterday and this morning, going out that door right there this morning at 5:30 in the morning, running up to meet up with Charlie Orloff and Joe Bastardi. And it's been a really interesting day so far. I'm going to have a full interview with Joe Bastardi, but in the meantime, some anecdotal from yesterday and today, and a more comprehensive Joe Bastardi discussion coming out in a separate post later today. Okay, take it easy. It's going to be a beautiful Sunday. Hope you made it through, and brace yourselves for Monday. Talk to you later. Buzzards love this weather. Just glide. Get some competition up there. It looks like a turkey vulture and an osprey having at it. Kind of far away to see. Relatively quiet. No sense of urgency down at the marina right now. So I'm at in charge of the Freedom Boat Club down here, so I was checking on the situation. They already pulled a bunch of them at Suet. That's on the north side. That's a different story. Here on Bass River, you're less prone to impact, but you still got to check, make sure everything looks secure. Bring around the sun or moon, snow or rain soon. Or maybe a boat flying by. Goes in circles, doesn't it? It just goes around and around and around. Gravity, the sun, the earth, it's all going in circles. With the wind, around the wind. Never against the wind. Matt Carrick of Freedom Boat Club's down here trying to secure his boats. He says there's no way to really kind of get these pontoon boats not to bounce off poles, so he's going to try and relocate them. It's a tough situation. Every boat's a little bit different. And if you could put more of those pads on there, that would be helpful. Also, some cleats missing, so it's hard to get a spring line on some of these boats. Always little challenges. Just about high tide the day before Lee. Suet Harbor. More vulnerable here. A couple days ago, the forecast was for a 3 to 5 foot storm surge. That's since decreased markedly. Still got the halo. North side now. Looks like just sort of the run of the mill, pulling out the boats, cleaning off the bottom. All good. There's Matt again. Got a lot of boats to take care of, both north side and south side. Talk to you. These are the beaches that could take a beating here on the north side. I don't have time to get there right now. One of the most popular places to eat. 3 seasons here. That's the Suet Harbor Cafe, north side. Raw bar. Got a few people braving it out here. Picnic table. Always somebody or something at the beach, regardless of the weather. Hide behind a dune, do a few laps on Nantucket Sound. Sure, why not? Laps on the road too. Wind, then we can take off if anybody comes near. Or run toward the water. That's where Bastardi's staying tonight. Across the street from Sundancers. Kind of funny, huh? Oh, the Blue Hill Observatory is even reporting down from Sundancers. So all the good people are coming to Cape Cod. There's the osprey. Come over here. Seems pertinent. Cray, sea legs coming out. So that's boating tomorrow, September 16th. Well, depart to Martha's Vineyard. Go to all these places and come back. Sure, no problem. Crazy. Allison thought, sorry about that bad intel 2 days ago. Thought the storm was going to be a lot worse. Glad you didn't pull all the boats. There's a lady at the shed on a Friday night. Red sky at night. Sailor's delight. Nor'easterlies must be going away. Right. Kind of surprising to have this red sky at night, sailor's delight thing going on. Too bad all those trees are right there. What a sunset. Dragon balls, Genius by the sea. Crickets, that's funny. 5:30 a.m. The wind didn't really sound much more scary last night than it did the night before. I don't have light on out here. Light just did flicker at 5:30, but it was not a scary wind last night. And it does not look like we're verifying on a tropical storm. That is, we did not get sustained winds of 39 miles per hour. So that's good, except for the fact that we all forecast that. One of the smaller puddles so far this summer. Less than an inch of rain here. Nantucket player says he had 1.5 inches as of about 3 a.m. That October 2021 storm, I made it to about here before I had to turn around, a quarter mile away from the house. A couple of days ago, I thought it might rival that one. Not even close. So I'm happy about that. Going to meet the gang up by the National Seashore. Just about 6 a.m. There's a big truck up there going like 45 miles an hour. I bet everybody behind him has probably got an anemometer with them going, come on. We're not even going as fast as the wind here. On Route 6, formerly known as Suicide Alley when we were kids, because people used to hold their cell phones up while they were driving 80 miles an hour. Wait, no they didn't. No, we didn't. There's my chase partner right in front of me. Equally frustrated. Is that frustrating, Charlie? Blue Hill Observatory, I know that place. There's a man in that car, there's an anemometer. Which way to the tropical storm? What do you got there? Anemometer. Yeah, what does it say?
Right now it says 15 miles an hour.
15 miles an hour.
Boy, this is really wild.
Made it to Chatham. No roads blocked. Power's on.
Yep.
See the Whitecaps way out there. CBI. That's where the well-to-do journalists stayed. Storm warning flag flying here in Chatham. And I'm surprised there's no TV stations here, but there is a representative from the Blue Hill Observatory, Mr. Orloff.
Hi there.
With the anemometer.
Tim, what happened to the storm?
The storm was way out there. Charlie, you can't see it? See those white caps out there?
Oh, there it is. How come the wind's blowing from the west?
Well, the storm has gone by our latitude. So it's north of us now, so the wind's coming around from the west. Last night, it was from the north for a while, but not too many branches broken in the hood, huh?
I know. I was trying to find a leaf on the road, but I couldn't even do that.
Oh, well, you know, there's a direct correlation between the number of TV stations that show up 3 days before a storm and how likely it is that it's going to be a dud.
Right. But you had it right from the beginning.
From the beginning, but I bid on Wednesday when the Euro and the GFS both had a 962 low within 100 miles of here. That would have been a totally different story than a 970 low that's 200 plus miles away. Oh well.
Oh well.
We can go find a tree down or something like that, or maybe a limb down somewhere.
Yeah, well, how about a cup of coffee?
Okay, let's do that.
All right.
Out of the Bahamas or Gulf of Mexico or something. Yeah.
Joe, almost all of our big ones have come out of the Bahamas. So.
Yeah, they have to get into the Bahamas. Oh yeah, they've got to. You know, Carol and Bob and Bell all developed around the
Yeah, well, that's what I'm looking at. You see, you came in at 144, 1008, just east of Melbourne. So it's trying to feed back in there. So that's what I call those things home brew. Yeah, that's something that the trough may try to bring it up into the eastern part of the United States. So, but anyway, whenever I miss like this, I go bring on winter.
Hi, this is Tim Kelly from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. What's your name? Where are you from?
Joe Bastardi. I'm from Pennsylvania.
What are you doing on Cape Cod?
I decided, you know what, I've never been out here. I wanted to see how nice the weather looks out here every once in a while.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
I
to
mean,
meet
well,
you.
we've met a couple times, but it's been a while.
Over there at the, is Charlie?
That's
in there?
Charlie at the Blue Hill Observatory.
Joe Myers used to always talk about the rubber band snapping. Like the weather will pull one way and bang, it'll go back the other way. And I think there's a lot of opportunity for that. You guys, we got a lot of lying dog-faced pony soldiers, right? And he goes, that's what we have with global warming people, a lot of lying. I'm like, what the heck, you're in Illinois? No one knows John Wayne, right?
What'd you change your Twitter handle to?
No, it's the American Storm, but in parentheses is lying dog-faced pony soldier.
That's a John Wayne line?
Yeah. So what happened was, he says, we got a lot of lying dog-faced pony soldiers, and he pointed at the Union guy. So imagine this. This is what I couldn't understand. So
Going in circles, looking for a tropical storm or breakfast. Very interesting sky, anyway. It is a fantastic synoptic pattern that behaved more traditionally. And the National Hurricane Center said, and this was a mistake 2 days ago, that they trusted the global models more than they trusted the hurricane models in the wobble toward the west. Well, if it happened way offshore. So the hurricane models, it looks like, did a better job than the global models. And one of those hurricane models says Brian McBoldy is going to be retired. I think I got that name wrong. It's a massive, big circle around Cape Cod. We're gonna go apply for a job in here. Used to eat breakfast here when I was 2 years old. It was penny candy too. There's Bastardi's car. He's already in there. He's got a seat. PSU table.
we refuse to look. The standard water, you have the thermohaline circulation, so you pull the volcanic warming away from the equator. What happens when it's warmer to the north than it is to the south? Will it soon? The Hadley cells disappear. And how do we know that? Outgoing long-wave radiation is increasing markedly from the central Pacific into the Atlantic. There are no clouds in the Atlantic unless a hurricane shows up. And then off it goes.
Unbelievable hash.
The correlation.
Surface temperatures haven't changed.
Is
We're gonna have a webinar. There's a lot of
the
moving
reason
parts
why
here.
you know it's causation, because the increase, what do the oceans do? They lag, right? They're very tough to change. The increase in volcanic underwater spreading, what we call geothermal spreading, preceded the increase in temperatures of the sea surface.
That tree is still standing. When me and my brother were 4 years old, we would be under that tree with our penny candy from the Red Cottage. And now here I am, 58 years later, with Charlie Orloff and Joe Bastardi having breakfast at the Red Cottage on the morning of pretty much was a blown wind forecast. The tropical storm force winds did not really materialize. There's some scattered power outages, but nowhere near as bad as it could have been. I've been a few branches down here and there, but overall, pretty nice. So Joe Bastardi is always crediting higher powers and the Lord, and it's funny. He called us a light, and this is the church where I was baptized, and my dad's in there, and my mom's in there, and Joe just lost his parents. So this is a pretty spiritual day for me, and there he is right behind us, and behind my hand. You can't stop Joe, so you might as well just listen to him go. Sing hello to my brother Ed.
Hey Ed, how you doing, brother? I was talking so much in there that I forgot to go to the bathroom.
I think they got one here.
Sorry, we're close to the public.
He's not the public.
The same wind that you had here, if it was from the southeast, we had the north and northwest wind last night. Well, knocked trees down all over the place because the trees, you don't know it, they're all leaning toward the southeast, toward the sun.
Right.
So what happens is you take the tree damage in New Jersey from Tropical Storm David was twice as much as Gloria, and yet Gloria's winds were twice as strong. The highest wind gusts out of the northwest came with Gloria,
Right.
but David's came from the southeast. So all you you look at your pine trees, they all lean like this. It's like the airplane wings, you know, get
Right.
uprooted all.
Oh, so it snapped them, like broke their backs.
East in South Jersey.
When the tornadoes came through here.
He was standing right here. He had it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you saw
had
it?
the video of the water spout from here.
Oh, that's cool. Well, water spouts are
He
really,
made the ABC, NBC News
Well,
network news that night.
The tornado was on the backside of the property right across the
Yeah.
street here, and the water spouts were out here. My house over in West Dennis, my big giant oak tree that I saved around everything, that snapped sheared right off. It snapped right the top right off it. The boats over here were moving around on the racks.
We had a tornado at our house, went about a quarter mile south of our house in 2013. It was hysterical because they had no warning.
Testing, testing, testing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Testing, testing. All right, so we can mostly just talk to the camera or me or whatever you want.
Nothing to sneeze at.
You're so good looking. Man,
You know,
this-
I identify as the most handsome man in weather. You know,
And you're very tall.
It used to be Bernie Rayno. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I get some
I always
guys.
wanted some people to look up to me.
I have a friend right down the river here. He's like, he cannot go a day without watching Bernie and my podcast, which is.
Well, I'm really close to Bernie. Of course, Ken Reeves is almost like a brother to me.
All right, you're gonna have to talk a little louder.
All right, Ken Reeves was almost like a brother to me. So anyway,
All right, you want to introduce yourself to the people?
well, please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. Not.
Were you born in a class 5?
My name's Joe Bastardi. I'm known as, I guess, the American Storm on Twitter. I'm the chief chief forecaster now at weatherbell.com, along with Joe DeLeo. We're co-chiefs. All right.
Cool.
And so that's who I am.
So the guy in the power truck's making a video. Power line's all intact. Got a couple raindrops left, and I think they're headed home. I've seen a lot of them heading back towards off Cape. Thanks for coming. Glad we didn't need so many. I mean, I'm sure there were some scattered power outages, but definitely a lot less than we thought. What a morning. Glad to say it was not as bad as they said it would be.